We got Chokes as a first up over on team 2. Playing now that Necrolord. This guy's been Necrolord from the get-go. Nemi, this is gonna be first up. Beastmaster Hunter going full. Flayed, Shot, Kill Shot, Ventier, Burst is gonna back the hell out of there. Trying to keep the range as Chokes is gonna go behind the pillar. Onto the freeze trap, might just walk into it. It's gonna be that AoE stun onto the main pet. Wait, is Nemi playing one pet build? Or is it just 2 raptors? Are they Beastmaster with 1 pet? Wait, what kind of challenge would you run if you're running 1 pet then? Choke sniff his own armpit or his own shoulder. Just kind of bending his body backwards when you think about it. Some of the animations when they're locked in the middle, they just look funky. But it's part of like the art process. Into a stun. Chokes almost. Oh, big damage into Nemi. I think it's over. Oh my god. I thought Chokes almost walked into a freezing trap, but it looks like the freezing trap is gone. I was looking at Nemi next to the body and the freezing trap was just gone. I was gonna say, well, I almost walked into it. It's like, wait, it's not even there. It doesn't even exist. Maria is going to be up next as the Necrolord Paladin versus Necrolord Paladin is going to be up next. Chokes charging out a Mr. Friskers. It's getting some holy power generated onto Maria. Maria's like, wait, are we dueling? Wait, that doesn't hurt. Oh wait, I got flesh cuffed. The one day doesn't hurt. As Maria trying to make some damage happen, no ways, but just trying to break through a flesh cuff of Chokes. This is where it is. Paladins are just going to be trading cooldowns. Chokes and Maria actually both have same cooldowns. It looks like Chokes didn't really have to commit many CDs to take down the Hunter. Better luck next time though. This is going to be Chokes with a wings, trying to see if he can surprise Maria with some surprising bursts. Shield Avengers up for Maria. Hodge on the Chokes. It looks like Maria's going to play this defensively. Back it up out of there. Going for Flash of Light. It's going to be Blessing Protect. Oh, Shield Avengers for Shield Avengers. Our Maria could be in a bad spot. He's going to bubble it. He knows that if Chokes' Shield Avengers pops, their health at that low is going to drop down. Chokes is trying to blast the most amount of damage into that bubble. Hodge into Maria is able to get a hammer just that early. Maria might be in a bad spot. Chokes! Oh my god! I like him just walking away too, throwing out a hammer at Athaman. This guy's like, you guys only adopted the Necrolord Covenant. I was molded by it. I've been playing this thing for weeks now, boys. You guys are just coming to the club? Welcome. As the senior VIP of the Necrolord Paladin, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a greeting. A bit of a welcome party for the new boys. The new fresh faces of the Necrolord Paladin Covenant. Chokes has been a veteran of that Covenant, by the way, for a while. Big damage out of Atho with an adaptation. Chokes might have been one spot, maybe a bubble. If Athaman can commit some damage, looks like Athaman is going to retreat, backing up out of there for a second. Playing it safe. I feel like Athaman could have just stayed aggressive. He had so much burst, so much good procs. Flesh Scout for Chokes. Not going to interrupt him, just going to let the Flesh Scout happen. And Chokes got himself a full defensive. Athaman is going to have to blast that shield before he really gets the big damage to Chokes. It's going to actually wings with Final Verdict. Everything available. No Seraphim this time around. Chokes is going to trinket out of it. Seeing full cooldowns coming out of Atho. Hits him with a hammer just before adaptations back up. Athaman might be in really big trouble. Does Chokes take him out right here? Athaman with a massive lay on hands, which is just a word of glory with healing hands talent. Going to be shield defenders out for Chokes. Having to play this a little bit defensively. Athaman without a defensive for a while with that shield of vengeance. You just throwing in Galvas is breaking through the shield of Chokes, and Chokes might have to bubble this unless Atho doesn't have the damage. It might have the damage. It's going to force a bubble out of Chokes. Athaman is bringing this one back little by little. Chokes, while in that immunity, trying to give some punishment towards Athaman's health bar. Adaptation breaking him out. Shield of it is back up for Atho. Has the eye for an eye if he wants to. And Chokes so far has been on a little bit on the back foot as of recently. Athaman got himself a nice big advantage right now. And I feel like you should keep the pressure rolling. King Chaos, 2 months of membership. Yo, can we get a bag of hashtag King Chaos, boys? As Athaman getting blasted right now. Thank you so much, King Chaos. Thank you so much for doing it for the 2 months. Thank you, bud. Appreciate ya. Shield of itself for Athaman, covering the Paladin defensive structure. 6 minutes into the duel, 30 seconds, 10% dampener. And Athaman can definitely win this. Flesh Scout to just make sure he's as healthy as he can. Rebuke quickly out of Chokes. Blasted through a Flesh Scout with wings. And actually blasted through Athaman's health. Athaman gets no health at all. Trying to word of glory himself through as much of this as possible. Got himself some healing, but still playing it very defensive. 30 seconds on his offensives. So he might be okay. Chokes catching up on so much health right now. And just continuing to toss out Galvas at Atho. That shield flesh cuff just got blasted through so fast. Chokes just burned right through it with the wrath of the holy. Atherman continuing to sink in the pressure, the punishment into chokes, but he's the one whose health just keeps taking a beating. Hammer justice onto chokes. Final verdict up and running. Does Atherman have the most damage? Wake of Ashes? Maybe he gets it. Oh, Atherman actually did it. With Troop Monk up next, locking down Atha and Defensive Fury could be a blessing of protection out of Atha. That's exactly what he does. Troop Monk doesn't really have too many magic abilities to work with. It's going to be a fleshcraft for him. A fresh fleshcraft for the Monk. As he's waiting now for Atherman's blessing of protection to wear off. Trying to see if he can spin and crank him down. That's quite a bit of damage to Atha. He got himself Hand of Freedom, Eye for an Eye, reducing the physical damage by 30%. Hammer justice onto Troop Monk, but he chooses to trinket it as Atherman played the Hodge defensively. Troop Monk just trying to commit the most damage possible. Does he have himself the big BDB burst? He still got Zuan for a little bit. Atha got wings. As long as Atha doesn't get stunned, he'll be okay. There goes the stun. BDB burst. Lots of damage into a touch of death. That is so rough. Kiosk is going to be up next versus Troop Monk as he's playing that Necrolord Survival Hunter, even though he looks like he's full of Venthyr Covenant. That's going to be a karma, but Troop Monk trying to blast out the damage into Kiosk. It looks like the grenades are going to do work as the pet charges out with the kill shots, kill commands. Kill shots. That's a little bit later. Troop Monk with a leg soup. Going to be immediate trinket for Kiosk as he drops down a freezer trap as Troop Monk drops his vase. His bow does brew. Oh, my brew. I spilled my drink. Kiosk avoiding a lot of the damage. Bone does bring getting removed by 32% by the way in PvP. I think that's an interesting one. Vivifies for Troop Monk, but a 26% dampening. I don't know if that'll be enough. Dropping down the kill shot with the Death Chakram. Just both of them colliding at once. I would imagine if the Monk, if this was a little bit more of a gory game, the Monk would just be split into like 2 pieces. Just kind of cut in the torso. That would be kind of brutal. Kind of badass too. Miss Traps is going to be up next. Playing out that Marksman Hunter. Has a Hunter's Mark on him. Knows more or less where Kiosk is at. Did they get a Hunter's Mark from Kiosk? They didn't. Kiosk is just waiting for cooldowns. Gonna be the binding shot around the corner. Kiosk disengaging out of it to give himself mobility. Is going to drop down a steel trap on top of Miss Traps, but the disengage is going to keep himself moving. Is going to be Chimeric Poison that actually interrupts Kiosk's flesh cap. That's actually kind of nuts. The silence get interrupted. Or maybe there was a normal silence? It looked like Chimeric. Kiosk can take a loss of damage with an explosive shot into Turtle Shell. Miss Traps get himself acceleration. Kiosk can try to manage better so this as best as it can. 34% dampening makes it difficult. Traps are on the corner. Miss Traps wants to make the most damage happen. It's going to be a harpoon out of Kiosk as a rapid fire comes out. Kiosk has a little bit of health to work with. Miss Traps with a flate shot. Just needs a couple of kill shots and they'll be in a great position. I think a kill shot is up, but Kiosk gets a kill shot of his own. It looks like his does a bit more damage. Help force and attack Kiosk before the Hunter can recover. And is going to be able to spike him down. Feral Lion should be able to leap onto Hell Force and not letting the rogue get a big reset. Convoke the spirits as he blasts out through the flesh cup. Doesn't do enough damage to take the rogue down though, as a Cloak of Shadows and Evasion is up for the rogue right afterwards. Feral Lion looking to continue the pressure, to continue letting the bleeds roll into Hell Force and is going to be able to get a quick maim. Trinket out of the rogue with advantage to follow Feral Lion with Thorns. And Hell Force I think is going to go for a full reset. Can they do it? They at least have a spike on the Feral, or maybe no spike anymore? I think spike falls off as soon as they get out of combat. I think it was changed a while ago. Help Force at least gets like a roll into a Feral Lion. Wants to go for the big kidney shot, but I think he wants to use it outside of bear form. Quick roar, maybe goes into cat form. This would be the perfect time to do it. Help Force maybe can go for a kidney shot Vendetta. Is going to go for kidney shot Vendetta. Trinket out of Feral Lion with a maim. It looks like he's going to be able to take him down. The dots are still taking down a Feral Lion. Did force out a Frenzy Regen on him. He did force out emergency healing out of the Druid. Storm Fist with a Storm Bolt onto a Feral Lion is not going to set that stone long at all after that Kinnisha DR. Blaze Storm by the Warrior, hoping to catch up to Feral Lion. The Feral looking for the reset as soon as possible. If there's any dots, it's going to make it harder for him to reset, but at least he's keeping himself away from the Warrior. Does get himself the Rake Opener. Start Trinket out of Stormfist. Needs just a couple of executes onto Feral Lion, otherwise he's going to be good. I think he might have used a Global to do something else. I think use a Howling Roar just to get a slow onto the Feral. It's going to be another restun for Feral Lion. Not going to be able to get a proper stun with the Convoke onto Stormfist for a bit, but does get enough damage over time as well as a finisher in order to land a root into Stormfist. The more he can keep him rooted, the better. Stormfist in defensive stance as best as possible. Just try to stay in there. Feral Lion is going to have to go for a full stun. I think a maim might need to happen here. Next Stormbolt is going to be really scary. Better pre-wall this if you're going to do anything. There goes the Stormbolt. Try to get the Condemns. I haven't seen a Warrior condemn in a while. Quick roar by Feral Lion. The Stormfist breaks out of that roar. Feral Lion with a Frenzy Regen just to get himself whatever healing he got. Whatever recovery health he can at 12 minutes into the game. 13 minutes into the game. Feral Lion building calm points. Does he get himself a big maim? Fear by the warrior. Thorns are up. Stormfist, does he charge? Or does he just stay away? Is gonna go to battle stance, trying to make the most damage here. Quick main by the feral intercom of the spirits. Big bites and locks down the warrior. He does come back in the end. I like how everybody else got a chance to play here in this game. The Paladins though with Necrolord just blasted each other with that big burst. It is actually so strong.